Prepare and Google. Yes.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Okay, so we have here with us, we have several students here tonight. I want to have give a chance to the students to ask some questions. I know we have some people from the party here with you. But party members, can you please, thank you very much. We want to give a chance to the students to ask some questions tonight. So, yes, please tell us your name and then your question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Bright Yvonne, a student of Benson Idahosa University. I want to ask, because in Nigeria, we've noticed that only professional courses thrive here, like being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, maybe a pharmacist or a nurse. So what about courses like English education, library and information science, geography, and all of that? Do we have a future here in Nigeria? Because I'm actually wondering, my dad has asked me so many times, when you graduate, what do you want to do with your certificate? So I want to ask you personally, courses that are not professional in quote, do they have a future here in Nigeria?
Thank you. I will answer by telling you my experience when I studied geography, and I went to one of my uncles. My father wrote to him to give me money, and he said, give me the admission letter. I showed it to him. He said, geography. I said, yes. He said, geography second time. I said, yes. He said, we're going to buy maps from you. But the truth is that what you must understand about you should go and look at the definition of the word university. In fact, in the US, they don't usually professionalize a lot. They will ask you to join economics with another course so that you can have the broad knowledge of how society is working. That's right. You know, I studied geography. I was prepared at the University of Lagos for geography, but when I got out into the world, I got into the US, I became a journalist. I've never practiced geography before. You know, but you know the joke around Nigerian tables, when you are at night, your parents will tell you, is that you're a doctor, you are a lawyer, or you are a accountant, or you are a disgrace to the family. You know, that's the only other course. That's one joke that one lady told a UK comedian. But the thing is, the moment you have education from a university, you are capable of doing anything. That's right. And that is what you have been prepared for. But our society is not prepared for you. That is the problem. And I am saying, give me your vote. I shall prepare a place for you in our society. Regardless of what is done. Regardless of what is done.
Good evening, sir. My name is Chuma Agowa. Thank you so much for this speech this evening. I really appreciate it. So for the past 30 years or more, Nigeria gets her revenue from oil. And we are one of the member states of OPEC. And sadly, we don't have a refinery in Nigeria. And like you said, in the next few years, oil will become extinct.
That's right.
So what other source of income are we going to get our revenue from in Nigeria?
Thank you. I'm sure people are expecting me to say cocoa, rubber. No. Our best source of revenue is in technology. And that is why we must prepare you. The universities must start preparing you for a world of tech. And when we say tech, it's not that every technological know-how out there has to be professional. In fact, the people who are ruling the world in the tech world, so many of them dropped out of school. You've heard about Bill Gates. He dropped out of school. The Facebook guy wasn't the brightest guy in school. But they had a focus, they had a will, they had a determination. And what Nigeria must do is open its mind to real education. You see, there's a difference between education, that goes back to the question asked by the young lady. There's a difference between education and literacy. What we are still doing in most of our universities is getting people literate so that they can work for somebody from 9 to 5 p.m. or 8 to 4 p.m. But real education opens your mind to all kinds of ideas. And that is why I encourage universities. I know how difficult it is, whether it's private or public to allow students to have unions. Because the kind of things you learn when you are in leadership position as students, sometimes no university can give you that from a degree course. It is the reason you are having interaction and having engagement with other people. It's not only with your professors, you're also engaging with your students. Some of the brightest students here in this university are not even doing well in class. But they are the ones that will discover some of the greatest products. And when you are talking about that, you can point your hand to me. When I was at the University of Lagos, they used to call me layabouts. You know, I was expelled twice from the university for doing student union activities. But when I got to America, and America provided me the appropriate environment, I innovated because the society was supportive of innovation. Created Sahara Reporters. In 12 years, in less than 12 years, Sahara Reporters was being quoted by all of the international media outlets, including CNN, BBC. Any report we carry, they know that it's kosher, as they say. But it is because I was not limited to just getting a paper degree. I was allowed to expand my knowledge base and space. When I was at the University of Lagos, which I forced myself to do, but most importantly, when I got to Columbia University. Do you know what they do most of the time? They will even bring in people who are radical in nature to come and talk to students. People they don't agree with necessarily. Because it's from there that you can understand how the world is working. The people you think are crazy are actually people with ideas that is going to save the world in the future. Please, young man, don't worry. Just let's take our country back. And the moment we take our country back, everybody can flourish inside of it. And that's my promise to you.
My name is Justin Idahosa. I'm a staff of Benson Idahosa University, for the Law Department. You talked about a living wage or a minimum wage of 100,000. And from what I understand, for instance, a cleaner in this institution, if you want to pay the person, you have to pay the person minimum wage.
Yes.
So it means that's not the entry level for normal graduates. If I'm paying a cleaner 100,000, how much am I going to pay a professor? Maybe I'll end up paying a professor 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Comparing minimum wage to the level of that qualification.
Yes.
And I'm beginning to think, is the problem a minimum wage problem or an economic problem? Why don't we focus on issues of giving the 1 naira in my hand more value than trying to increase the more money in my hand? Also, you talked about restructuring. I would like you to tell us what kind of restructuring do you intend to put in place?
Thank you. For your first question, about wage and money, I want to let you know that there's a difference between the value of money and purchasing power. What we are doing is to give workers the ability to purchase what they need. And the current wage is a slave wage. And I'll break it down to you like this, that there's nobody who can live on 18,000 naira per month. It's not about the value of the money, it's that they don't have the ability to purchase what they need. Let me break it down to you what an average worker needs a month. To eat alone, even as students, you have to spend at least 1,000 naira per day. That has already taken 30,000 naira in a month. Because food doesn't know weekend or Sunday. Whether you are working, you have to eat. So 30,000 naira is already gone. And that is how much the federal government is paying you as minimum wage. So how are you going to get to work? Because the Okada person or the taxi is not going to ask for the daily value of the money we improve before they charge you. So I'm talking realistically about how you survive as a human being on your monthly wage. So let's assume that you are spending 500 naira to get to work. How much do you pay per month? 15,000 naira. You have already spent 45,000 naira and your minimum wage is 30,000 naira. So let's assume that you fall sick and you need money to buy medicine, and all it costs you is just 30,000 naira to take care of yourself, malaria, do you have the money if you are being paid minimum wage? No. That means you are consigned to die because you cannot afford medicine. So let's assume, that you now have to send your children to school and you have to buy uniform and shoes. Right? Your minimum wage that was paid to you in a month. Right? Why? How is it going to help you? That means you can't send your children to school. Sir, is that the senator is not waiting for the value of the naira to increase. He has already paid himself maximum wage of 14 million naira because that's what he needs because of the status in society. I am just saying that you, as a worker who goes to work every day, 8 to 4 p.m., you deserve your own wage too. The same way the senator deserves. In fact, if there's anybody who can legislate the value of the naira to become strong, it will be the senator. So why didn't the senator just go and make a law and say, well, let the value of the naira increase first so that I can be paying myself 18,000 naira? Because, of course, if the value of the naira is that of the naira, you don't need to pay anybody that much money. But with the value of the naira now, so I just want you to understand that there's a separation between the value of the naira and the right of a worker to survive on his wage. That is what I'm teaching you here, because just so that you know, I'm also a professor, not the big ones. In the US, they call us professors if you teach part-time. They call us adjunct professors. So I've been teaching for 8 years, and we have to teach the difference between macro and microeconomics to people. That the value of the currency is not the same as the purchasing power of the currency. The value of the currency drives the purchasing power. But when the value doesn't have that ability, the reality is that you must put in the hand of an average worker what is enough to help the worker survive through the month. That's where the minimum wage comes from. And that's the definition of living wage. Regarding restructuring, our own position in restructuring is that, first and foremost, the Nigerian Constitution is a fraudulent document created. And without going after that document and fixing it, you can't even talk about restructuring at all. The military set up the Constitution. They inserted a bogey inside the Constitution that they called "We the People of Nigeria." No Nigeria was there when they created the Constitution. So whatever you see in the Constitution was not our idea, it was the idea of some people. And for you to start restructuring Nigeria, you must give the Nigerian people the power to create a Constitution that discusses how they want to exist in this geopolitical environment known as Nigeria. A lot of people have asked, if restructuring is just state police. I'm in support of state police. I'm in support. In fact, your university should have its own police if you were to be in the US. Every university has its own police department. It's no big deal. It's the easiest part of it. But the question is of the control of resources within a geopolitical environment known as Nigeria. And what people are talking about, restructuring, they talk about control of resources in absolute terms, forgetting that if the Niger Delta region, as it is today, becomes a country, and you don't restructure the character of the managers of the country, because Nigeria has already trained enough thieves centrally. If we break up, every thief will just go to their own part of town, and they will be stealing the same way they are stealing. That's the reality. So without dealing with the characters without restructuring the characters of our leaders, you are wasting your time. You can have an Eldorado if you take Nigerian leaders to go to America. In 6 months, America will not have electricity. I can tell you that.
Okay. Good evening, my president. My name is Angela Ombu, and I'm a teacher here in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. Well, I have just 2 questions. Just 2 questions. I want to emphasize or put stress on the question my president actually asked on education as it concerns me. You didn't actually specify. Education is already existing. What exactly are you going to bring into the education sector? That is one. Two, are you saying that if Nigerian youths give you the opportunity for 4 years and 8 years, all this magic will happen in the twinkling of an eye? What process do you have in place? Thank you.